pictured yourself, kayaking through some amazing natural scenery in Thailand, but maybe wanted something a little different, away from the usual island spots.
Yeah, something off the main tourist trail.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into Krabi province. It's famous for those huge limestone cliffs, right?
The dramatic ones.
But we're actually heading inland, exploring a place highlighted in the sources you shared, Klong Root, or it's also called Klong Nam Sai Canal.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got quite a mix of sources here. Some TripAdvisor reviews, actual visitor feedback.
Okay.
Plus a sort of general visitor guide and even a YouTube video focusing right on this spot.
Great. So our mission today is to sift through all that, figure out what makes this place special.
Right.
What's the experience really like, according to people who've been? And, the practical stuff, what you need to know if you're thinking of checking it out.
Okay, let's get into it.
Let's unpack this. So first off, the location. It's inland, which is interesting for Krabi.
Yeah, it's near Krabi Town and Ao Nang, the main hubs. But there's a slight difference in the sources about travel time.
Oh, like what?
Well, one guide mentions about an hour's drive from either Krabi Town or Ao Nang.
Okay, an hour?
But then this YouTube video says, nope, just 15 minutes from Ao Nang.
15 minutes versus an hour. That's quite a gap. Any idea why the difference? Traffic, maybe?
Could be. Or maybe just where in Ao Nang you're starting from, the edge versus the middle, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The sources aren't super specific on the starting point.
Yeah.
But the key thing, I think, is that it's reachable, not some crazy remote spot.
Right, accessible. But maybe just far enough away to feel like you're escaping the main crowds a bit.
Exactly.
And the name, Klong Root, where does that come from?
Well, the sources say Klong Root literally means root canal.
Okay. Like the dentist.
No, like tree roots. It refers to all the mangrove and banyan tree roots you can see, like crisscrossing in the water.
Okay, that makes more sense. Sets the scene.
It really does. You know you're going somewhere defined by those trees.
But I get the feeling that the real star here, the thing people keep talking about in the reviews and videos, is the water itself.
Oh, absolutely. That's the big differentiator for Klong Root. It's spring-fed.
Spring-fed, so super clean.
Exceptionally clean, yeah. And often really, really transparent. One source actually calls it a fantastic crystal lagoon.
Wow. Crystal lagoon.
Yeah, amazing spring water. That phrase comes up.
And because it's so clear, you can see, what? Fish.
Yeah, fish, plants underwater. It adds to that whole pristine vibe. But here's the kicker. The temperature.
Okay. What about it?
Is cold. Really cold.
Cold, not like the warm Thai Ocean then.
Nope, nothing like it.
Yeah.
Much colder. Because it's coming straight from a mountain spring or groundwater.
Right.
The YouTube video even showed, apparently you can sort of see the water bubbling up from the ground in some places.
Whoa. Okay, so that's a key takeaway. Expect clear but cold, refreshing water. A real spring.
Exactly. Prepare for a bit of a shock, but a good one.
All right, so knowing that about the water, what about the kayaking itself? Is it hard work? Do you need experience?
No, the sources are pretty consistent here. It's described as gentle, definitely beginner-friendly.
Okay, good.
No previous experience needed. You're just paddling through this amazing jungle setting. Rainforests, rubber trees along the banks.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, passing little clear springs, vines hanging down, trees overhead. It's very scenic.
So just a gentle float then? Or are there, with a name like Klong Root, there must be obstacles, roots.
Oh, good point. Yes. It's not just wide open water. Those roots and submerged trees are definitely there.
Okay.
Reviews mention it makes the kayaking interesting. People talk about bumping into stuff, maybe getting stuck for a second on a route.
Right, so a bit of navigation involved, not just drifting.
Yeah, a little bit. But it sounds like people find it fun, part of the adventure, like a natural obstacle course, but a very gentle one.
As long as you expect it, I guess?
Yeah, exactly. Don't expect a smooth highway.
Okay, and how long are you actually paddling for?
Well, a typical guided tour is listed as 3 hours. But that probably includes getting there and back.
Right, the whole package.
Yeah. One itinerary mentioned the actual paddle to the main spring area takes about 30 minutes from where you start.
30 minutes, okay.
But some reviews said you can rent kayaks for the whole day. So you could definitely linger if you wanted to.
Spend more time exploring. And any wildlife sightings mentioned in that jungle setting.
Yeah, there's potential. Sources mention possibly seeing monkeys or maybe some colorful birds. Adds to the atmosphere.
Nice. Okay, so you paddle for about half an hour, navigate some routes, and you reach the main event, this Crystal Lagoon area.
That's the goal, yeah. The main spring water area. And that's where you can get out and swim.
Ah, the swimming.
Yes. And reviews rave about it, how clear the water is and how cool and refreshing it feels, especially after paddling in the heat.
I bet. That cold spring water sounds amazing. Is it safe for kids too?
Yep, mentioned as being safe for kids. Very refreshing.
Okay. Is there anything else to do right there at the lagoon or the pier area? Besides swimming?
Yeah, a few things. Several sources mention you can feed fish near the dock. They apparently give you food pellets.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it sounds like the fish swarm around, which kids would probably love.
Definitely.
And one review mentioned something interesting, a little mini tour they got. Seeing how pineapples and watermelons are grown locally.
How cool. Like a farm visit?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And they even got free organic fruit from the farm, which sounds like a really nice, unexpected bonus.
That does sound lovely. Anything else? A place to eat?
There's mention of a restaurant nearby with a nice view, maybe good for watching the sunset if you stay late, one source suggested.
Okay, so it's more than just a quick kayak trip. There's potential to hang around a bit.
Seems like it, yeah.
All right, let's talk practicalities. Money. How much does this cost?
It sounds pretty reasonable, actually. Kayak rental on the spot is mentioned around 100 to 300 Thai baht per person.
Per person. Or per kayak.
Seems per person generally, but one review specifically said 300 baht for a two-person kayak for the entire day.
Wow, that's good value if you want to stay longer.
Yeah. There's also a small entrance fee mentioned, 50 baht per person.
Okay. And a guide. Is that included or extra?
Seems it can be extra if you just rent on site. One source quoted about 150 baht for a guide just for the kayaking bit. Tour packages would likely include it.
Gotcha. And getting there, can you just rock up or do you need a tour?
You can rent a scooter or a car and find it yourself if you're comfortable driving in Thailand.
Okay.
But lots of people seem to book tours that handle the transport. They offer hotel pickups.
Convenient. Is it free pickup everywhere?
Often free from the main Ao Nang area, according to the sources. But usually a charge if you're further out, like Krabi Thailand, Klong Root, places like that.
Right. Makes sense. And who is this suitable for? Any restrictions?
Tours mention a max group size, sometimes up to 50 people, which sounds like quite a lot, actually.
Yeah. We'll come back to that. Age range.
Very wide. Listed as 4 to 99 years old. So pretty much everyone.
Any warnings?
Yes. Definitely not wheelchair accessible. And they don't recommend it for people with back problems. Which makes sense with the kayaking, maybe getting in and out.
Okay. Good to know. Infant seats available.
Might be, yeah, if you book a tour with transport included. Worth asking.
Okay. And what should people actually bring with them?
Essentials are swimwear, obviously, or clothes you don't mind getting wet. Quick try stuff is good. Water shoes or sandals are recommended. Sunscreen, bug spray, standard Thailand stuff.
Right. Phone protection.
Yeah, a waterproof phone pouch or a dry bag. Sources say these are often provided or you can rent them. Bottled water and fruit sometimes come with the tours too.
Okay. Anything specific someone might forget?
One really good tip from a source: bring your own goggles.
Goggles. Why?
Because the water is supposedly so clear, you'd want to see underwater while swimming. But they apparently don't rent them out there.
Ah, that's a great insider tip. Okay, and weather. Is it weather dependent?
Yes, definitely. Needs good weather. If your tour gets canceled because of rain or storms,
You get a refund.
usually, yeah. Or they offer you a different date. Standard cancellation policy seems to be 24 hours notice needed for a full refund yourself.
Okay, typical stuff. So wrapping up all these details, the beautiful scenery, that unique, cold, clear water, the kayaking with its little obstacles, swimming, fish feeding, maybe some fruit. It sounds pretty amazing on paper.
It really does. The high points in the reviews are very consistent. People love the scenery, the water quality, that feeling of peace when it's peaceful.
Ah, when it's peaceful, there's a catch.
Well, this is where we get to the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
The sources definitely highlight the positive hidden gem aspect. Less commercial, different from the islands.
Yeah.
Friendly staff, good value, fun activity, refreshing swim. All that comes through strongly. But, and this is a significant but from several reviews, overcrowding seems to be a major issue sometimes.
Overcrowding.
Yeah.
At this hidden gem.
Yeah. It seems the secret might be getting out. Multiple reviews use strong language like dangerously overcrowded,
Dangerously. How so?
particularly in the narrower mangrove sections or near the swimming area. Kayaks bumping into each other, bumping into swimmers. One reviewer literally called it carnage.
Wow, carnage. That paints a very different picture from peaceful hidden gem.
It really does. It suggests the experience could be drastically different depending on when you go and how many people are there.
That makes sense. That same reviewer who called it carnage, did they mention the water quality?
Interestingly, yes. They said the water seemed filthy when it was that crowded.
Filthy. But everyone else said crystal clear.
Exactly. It's a direct contrast. It really suggests that the perception of cleanliness might drop significantly when it's packed with people churning things up.
Fascinating. What a difference the crowds make. Any other sort of minor complaints or things to watch out for?
One person mentioned some of the wooden walkways or planks near the water being a bit dodgy, slippery, maybe rusty nails. So maybe watch your step getting in and out.
Okay, infrastructure not perfect everywhere.
Seems like it.
Right.
And also, it's worth mentioning, one review brought up a concern about the tour operator they used. Not about the kayaking itself, though.
Oh, what was it?
It was about other optional activities the operator offered, specifically involving elephants. The reviewer felt the animals weren't treated well.
Okay. So an ethical concern about the company, separate from the Klong Root kayaking activity itself.
Right, but it was in the source material, so important to note that perspective was raised regarding at least one operator offering tours there.
Understood. So, given this big potential issue of overcrowding turning paradise into, well, carnage, what are the top tips from the sources to try and get the good experience?
The number one tip, loud and clear from multiple sources, is go early.
Early bird gets the worm.
Okay.
Or the clear water.
Exactly. Morning hours, like 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the recommended window.
Why then?
Calmer water, apparently cooler temperatures, and crucially, the clearest views before lots of people arrive. One person specifically said aim for 8:00 or 8:30 a.m. Their hope was to get the main spring lake area pretty much to themselves, at least for a little while.
Beat the rush. Makes total sense. Any other advice?
Yeah, general stuff like, paddle slowly, be quiet, try to soak in the nature sounds, maybe spot that wildlife. Don't just rush to the swimming spot and back. Explore little side canals if you have time. Respect the environment. Obviously, no trash.
Standard ecotourism practice. And what about navigating those routes if someone's nervous?
Considering hiring a guide comes up as a good tip. They know the route, can help you through tricky spots.
And take photos.
And often good photographers, yes. That was mentioned quite a bit.
Okay, so let's recap. Our deep dive into these sources paints Klong Root, or Klong Nam Sai, as this really unique spot in Krabi.
Definitely. That super clear, cool spring water, kayaking through the roots and jungle. It's different.
It's pitched as this peaceful, less touristy, hidden gem, a real escape from the beaches.
Right, that's the appeal.
But its growing popularity means it's a bit of a gamble. It could be tranquil, or it could be, well, chaotic.
Yeah, that overcrowding risk seems real, especially in those narrow bits.
So it feels like a place that, if you're strategic about it, go early morning. That seems key based on the sources.
Definitely the main advice.
And you're prepared for maybe bumping some routes or dealing with variable crowd levels. It could offer a really stunning, refreshing, and memorable nature experience.
I think that's a fair summary of what these sources suggest. High potential, but timing is crucial.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to maybe mull over. In a world where everyone's looking for that unique, off-the-beaten-path spot, what does that phrase even mean anymore? And how does our collective search for these hidden gems inevitably, well, change them once they're found?
Yeah, that's the paradox, isn't it? Something to think about for your next adventure.